We're going to start with Marcus Rashford. He says he just wants to play football now after completing his loan move to Aston Villa.
Yep, Rashford made it clear in December he wanted a new challenge and he hasn't played for United since then.
That's right. The deal is until the end of the season with an option to buy. And it's understood Villa will cover at least 75% of Rashford's wages, and this could go up to 90%, depending on Rashford's and Villa's performances. Rashford has said this. He said on Instagram, "I'd like to thank Manchester United and Aston Villa for making this loan deal happen. I was lucky to have a few clubs approach me, but Aston Villa was an easy decision. I really admire the way that Aston Villa have been playing this season and the manager's ambitions. I just want to play football and I'm excited to get started. I wish everyone at Manchester United all the best for the rest of the season." Well, this was Gary Neville's take on the deal.
The deterioration in the last couple of years have been alarming to the point now whereby, I mean, it's an absolute must that he has to get out of Manchester United and Old Trafford. And I feel sad saying that. I never thought that a few weeks ago, let alone months ago. I thought when Ruben Amorim came in, we would see the, not resurgence of re-emergence of Marcus Rashford, but I thought we'd see sort of like a clean slate. It's got 10 times worse under Ruben Amorim for Marcus Rashford than it was under Erik ten Hag, in the sense that some of the things that have been said by his manager have been absolutely brutal, and he's only been with him 5 or 6 weeks and they're a stain on his character. But he's going to a far better football team that are in the Champions League, that are in the FA Cup, that are in with a shout of getting into the Champions League again. And the most important thing for me is that I think he'll be playing under a world-class coach. That's the most important thing. And I think what Marcus Rashford needs at this moment in time is instruction. Ordinarily, you might say, I want to go out on the pitch, son, and enjoy it. That's not Unai Emery. It's not what Marcus Rashford needs. He needs real instruction and direction and discipline in his game.
Oh, so there you go. Rashford has finally made a move. Who better to speak about a forward making a transfer than Charlie Austin, who's our special guest this morning. Charlie, great to have you with us here on deadline day. Pleased to be here?
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's nice to be on the other side, because it's busy time, and players do get interested in it. Of course, it's hard not to, isn't it? Yeah. You know, and so it's nice to take a step back and watch from afar.
Yeah. What about Rashford then? I mean, it's been one of those deals. We've talked about it all window. You know, he's clearly, things were tough for him at Manchester United. He's got a fresh start now at Aston Villa. I mean, he's done well, I guess, gone to a top club there, hasn't he?
I think it's a good move for both Villa and Rashford, because if he goes there and performs, then it's great. Then it's great for Villa. They're really pushing on. Like Gary Neville said, they're a better team than Man United at the moment. They've got the players around him, and he's got the freedom really to go and play under a world-class manager, really. And they're pushing to go in the right direction. If he performs well, it's kind of look, Man United should have played me. Yes, his actions might have not been great there, and I don't agree with the actions he had at Man United, but now it's him to go forward and prove all the doubters wrong, I guess.
And this might just be what Villa need with the injury to Ollie Watkins and John Duran out the door now. They need someone that's going to score goals.
Exactly, and it almost becomes a no-brainer. Yes, the wages are high, etc., but with Watkins maybe injured, John Duran gone, why not get him in? And look, it's 3-4 months, yes, loan deal, and they do have the obligation to buy, but at the moment he's got to hit the ground running and prove all the doubters wrong.
As a striker, Charlie, I mean, and as a forward, as Rashford is, sometimes you just need a fresh start. I mean, things have dried up for him, hadn't they? Can a fresh start give you the real kick and the boost that you need sometimes?
I think so. I think it's dried up at Man United, maybe because of the comments he made early on when the new manager come in, and then the new manager's comments also towards him. It's like they've got a stalemate, and it's probably gone on longer than what he wanted to through January transfer window, but now it's done. I bet he can't wait for that first game to come, and really like his first opportunity, the ball coming across, and he doesn't really have to think about it. And when he gets that first goal, it'll just be like, right, now I can really kick on now. Like I say, if he proves the doubters wrong, Villa have got a hell of a player on in their hands.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see how he does get on.
Can we expect signings at Manchester United? We'll be live to our reporter at Old Trafford in a moment, but first to another disappointing defeat.
That's right. They've now lost 7 of their 13 home games in the league this season. It's the joint most in the club's history at this stage of the season.
And it wasn't just the result that was disappointing. Defender Lisandro Martinez was taken off with what Ruben Amorim described as a serious injury.
No, No. The things are not like that. Today we choose to play with Kobe to use the characteristics of Kobe. It's nothing against Rasmus or Josh. And sometimes the team scores goals by creating situations to use the right characteristics, and not to. It doesn't mean if you play with two strikers you are going to score more goals.
So could Manchester United be busy today on deadline day? Well, Amorim says he's keen to bring in new players and says that the club are trying everything they can.
This market is really hard on the clubs. To make some deals here, it's hard. Then you have this urgency. Sometimes when you are in these moments, you make some mistakes. We are trying everything, yes. We want so bad to improve. I want so bad to improve the team. I know what the team needs, but sometimes it's possible or not, but we are trying everything.
Well, Amorim got his first major signing of the window and Patrick Dorgu over the line. Will there be more to follow? Let's check in at United, shall we, and find out. At Old Trafford for us is our reporter, Sani Rudra-Vajula. Now, Sani, good morning to you. Welcome to Deadline Day. There's been plenty discussed on Amorim, hasn't there, looking at attacking reinforcements. But could that Martinez injury mean possibly a late move for a defender?
Yeah, good morning. We will be keeping across if that does manage to happen. But yeah, Lisandro Martinez, really disappointing for him. He had this injury roughly this time last season, managed to get back, played in the FA Cup final, which United won, of course, and this season has been really important for United. But that knee injury means they've only got 4 fit centre-backs. Matthijs de Ligt came on for Martinez. You know, the likes of Johnny Evans at the moment, even, for example, is injured. So it's a real issue that Ruben Amorim now has. And just when Marcus Rashford has left for Aston Villa, meaning there's wages freed up potentially for an attacker, Amorim now has this extra issue of having to look back at his back line and see if he needs reinforcements there. So, yeah, the window, we've got a lot of time to go yet, relatively speaking, and Amorim, as we've heard, will be trying to bring in a player potentially at the back. But we know in attacking options-wise, Matthijs de Ligt is the guy who's coming in defence, but Matthijs Tell from Bayern Munich is one that it potentially could be one that United are looking at. But of course, a lot of other teams are looking at him as well. 19 years old, French under-21 international, not quite getting a look in at Bayern Munich at the moment, but was really impressive last season as well. So as far as players going forward, that's one that potentially is an option for United. They will have competition there, but now all of a sudden Ruben Amorim is having to contend with losing arguably his best performer at the back in Lisandro Martinez, and now it's kind of a wait and see if United can bring in a face at the back and at the front. And by the way, on players potentially leaving, we'll be keeping across Casemiro and any movement there for the former Real Madrid star, who's not quite managed to light it up here at Old Trafford.
Sani, thank you. Lots to keep an eye on in Manchester.
Yeah, it could be a busy day, Charlie, in Manchester today. Amorim saying they're trying to do everything that they can to bring in new players. Disappointed result for them yesterday. Amorim would be desperate to bring players in, but we know they've got their financial problems. Where do you think they need to prioritise strengthening if they could get one in today?
I think before yesterday, with Martinez getting injured, I think they've got to prioritise getting a centre forward. I think, as much as he said it's not that, when you don't play a recognised striker on the pitch, I think that's sending a message, I really do. And he had both Xerxes and Højlund on the bench. That they've done well at times when they've been asked for Man United, but ultimately I think they're calling out for a number 9 and they need to try and get one. But now it may shift because arguably their best defender's now been injured, which looks like it's going to be for a long period of time. So who knows, but they definitely need a few players in the door.
They do. It's always hard to sign in the January transfer window, everyone knows that. But what have you made of the start that Amorim's made? Were you expecting more from him?
If I was expecting more, I think you can see what he's trying to do, but I don't think he's got all the pieces of his puzzle yet.
What is he trying to do?
I think he's trying to play his system. You can see at times where he wants to play a 3-4-3. He just hasn't got the players to play in the wing-back areas. You see Amad Diallo play in that position as well. I'd like him really to cement it down. Yes, he tracks back at times, but going forward, he's a phenomenal player. He really is. But I just think that he's going to need... This window is really tough, but come this summer, I do think there'll be a big change at Manchester United.
You made for some of Arsenal's goal celebrations today. Is that just part of the game, a reflection?
What happened?
Well, just emulating what Haaland did, celebration and games.
Oh, I didn't see. They didn't do that. That's good. That's good. So more like the Allen celebration. They have done it.
Luis Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Did it, and then basically Gabriel after the first goal in tower.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you guys.
That's down to the players, but they know my view on it, and we have to focus on us.
You said in your answer that the players know your view on that. What is your view?
We have to focus on us and to leaving anything that happens. It's just part of the game on the pitch, and Sefini, whatever happens there, I think I've been in football a long time. Just leave it, there is nothing there to do.
We have some big breaking news to bring you on the eve of transfer deadline day. It has now been confirmed that Marcus Rashford will sign for Aston Villa on loan until the end of the season from Manchester United. This has obviously been a huge topic of conversation over the last week or so in this transfer window, and Villa have now got the man they wanted, and perhaps a fresh start for Marcus Rashford, who we know has struggled since Ruben Amorim has come in. He hasn't actually played since December the 12th, his last Premier League game against Nottingham Forest, a defeat for United back in December as well. He's got 7 goals this season. We're looking to add to that in the second half of this season and see what he can do under Unai Emery. We of course saw Jean Duran move to Saudi in the last week or so as well. So Villa have bolstered their attacking threat once again now with the signing of Marcus Rashford until the end of the season. Huge news on the eve of transfer deadline day. Plenty of reaction to come.
How Manchester United's team reacted to the decision on Alejandro Garnacho during the January transfer window. The excitement surrounding Alejandro Garnacho, Manchester United's promising winger, surged during the January transfer window, but the club ultimately chose not to sell him. The sense of relief among the United squad is palpable, knowing that Garnacho remains a key part of their future. Despite receiving an offer from Napoli and interest from Chelsea, the 20-year-old winger stayed put. Inside the dressing room, there were genuine concerns about the potential sale of Garnacho, with players believing it could spark unrest among the United fanbase. One insider even acknowledged that there would be no way to frame Garnacho's departure positively, as he represents a bright, homegrown talent whose sale would have been hard to justify. While selling a player from the academy could provide a significant financial boost and help the club meet profit and sustainability (PSR) regulations, the decision to keep Garnacho reflects a commitment to nurturing homegrown talent. Similar to Marcus Rashford, Garnacho was left out of the squad for the Manchester derby in December, and since then, he has faced challenges in regaining his position under manager Ruben Amorim. However, his contributions this season, 8 goals and 6 assists, highlight his importance to the team. Recently, he made a notable impact when he came on against FCSB in the Europa League, reinforcing why he is so valued by the coaching staff. When asked weeks ago about the possibility of selling Garnacho and the importance of reinvesting those funds, Amorim chose to keep the focus on the team. "I understand the question, but let's concentrate on the game. I don't want to discuss this, especially before a match," he said. "Our focus is on the players who are here to play. We need to improve and win games to feel that sense of victory." While United was never in a position where they had to sell Garnacho, it was made clear that a substantial offer could have changed the conversation. Ultimately, the decision to retain him speaks volumes about the club's vision for the future and their belief in the young talent coming through the ranks. As the season progresses, Garnacho's continued development will be crucial for Manchester United, and the excitement surrounding his potential remains undiminished.